Any specific occupations that you've been seeing having more luck getting mortgages now than they did in the past?
Occupation is a good question. I think the blue collar business owner is getting kind of a revival. They've kind of stayed out of the market for a while.
Yeah.
The typical blue collar business owner is still learning how to manage tax prep and tax advantages. So sometimes they make some decisions up front they didn't realize they're going to have down the road. There's a middle ground there, some bank statement loans, which are a great thing. If your business can tell a story with a bank statement that a tax return doesn't, it's really opening up. And there's more and more underwriters that are understanding that not every two blue collar business owners are going to be the same.
Yes.
And we're starting to have different measurements of income based on the type of business. That's a pretty big deal recently.
Absolutely.
And that's exciting for folks.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, going back to the interest rate conversation, I think there's so many people that are just so locked up in where the interest rates are right now. And while it is safe to say that 4, 5, and 6 were the norm for the longest of time, it's actually probably below the historical average. With the home values that have gone up, it does put a pinch on you. So the most important thing that I've been communicating is look, you have to be able to afford the monthly mortgage payment. That affordability, because at some point things go up, things go down, especially over the long term. You're talking about comparing that to the stock market. Don't look at it every single day. Look at it in much longer perspectives. That's
wise.
That's where you got to be. And then when those interest rates do go down, because they will, because they always have, things go up, things go down, then you can consider refinancing.
I think the longer conversation in the beginning, when somebody says to me, I'm considering buying a house, let's have a conversation, we really got to dig into those conversations, and it matters more. Not necessarily because of a product, but because of affordability. That's the magic A word. And I think almost to the heck with my software, because my software might say you can afford $800,000 house, but your budget and the way you run your family and your lifestyle would suggest 400 or 500, which is nothing to be upset about. That conversation has to be more prevalent. I always say you want to slow down in the beginning and really take our time and dig into a family's plan. And then when you do get a contract, then they'll go 100 miles an hour and you don't have to worry about it. But I want to make sure you spend that time up front, because some of those questions you would ask a family are going to change what the affordability conversation is down the road.
Yeah. What out of all the conversation, what do you feel like is the biggest tip that you can give buyers that are potentially looking to buy in the next 6 to 12 months?
This might be controversial from a lender side, but I don't really care because I fall behind it 100%. If you think you are ready to go into a new bracket of home, if you live in a townhome and you want to buy a single family, go on the internet and play around and find out what the number would be on a sales price. If you want to live in Perry Hall, type into Google, which now has Gemini, it's intuitive. What's the average sales price in Perry Hall? Get that number, reverse engineer it in a free mortgage calculator online. You don't even need me yet. Find out what that payment would be. Here's the magic. The gap between what you're currently paying in rent or a mortgage payment and then what you may do, start living like that. If you're paying a $2,000 mortgage and you want to do a $3,000 one, take that $1,000 out of your bank account, put it into a savings.
Put it away.
Feel it. Just feel it. 6 months. Do it for 6 months. And in theory, you don't even need me yet, because if in a best case scenario, you come to me and say, I've been budgeting off $3,000, I can handle it. How great is that conversation where you come to me and say, what can I afford?
So much
I
easier.
can't answer that question. You have to.
Right.
But I'll help you get to it.
So good. I've never heard it quite put that way.
And first-time home buyers, that's a huge thing, is when we're looking through that journey. If they're not ready yet for whatever reason, not even anything negative in their profile, just timing, their lease isn't up for 6 months, I'll tell them, why don't you start pretending like you have a mortgage, have that gap, put it in your savings, and if you get a little tight, whoop, bring it back out.
Right.
Yep.
That's solid advice right there.
Thanks, man.
Not too controversial.
It took me 20 years. Well, the controversial part is you don't need me yet. I think it'd be great for you to come to me having that, but anybody that comes to me blind in financial sense, I can teach them that. But it's nice for you to already have that.
Sure. Wow. All right. Did you like this episode of the TMA Connection? Well, you might want to check this one out right here. Go ahead. Click it.